Hello everyone, and welcome to my book review slash presentation of Kaveh Akbar's Calling a Wolf a Wolf. And despite my cleverly made attire and appearance, this book is not actually about wolves, but there is a poem titled Calling a Wolf a Wolf, and that is the title of the book. But I thought I would do some clever play on words and, dress up. Regardless, let's go ahead and jump right in. So right off the bat, Kaveh Akbar's book is not a traditional novel, of course, but it's a poetry book that I chose because I've heard of Kaveh Akbar, I've been recommended, and I know he's a really good poet. Um, and this poetry book centers around faith and spirituality and actually gaining one's faith in hard times and trying to rebuild that relationship with God. It also deals with addiction and like alcohol abuse and things like that, things of that nature, which is really interesting. And it's really like I find that the book does a really good job portraying what it's like to lose slash try to gain one's faith. And I think it's just really interesting poetry book, and that's one of the things I really like about it, for sure. So I think the strengths in this book lies definitely in the poetry and the poems themselves. Um, my favorite thing about this book, besides it being about faith, is how experimental that he has the lines. So you see that this stanza on this side is broken up, and it's like two stanzas, but there's no punctuation, and there's spaces in between where he wants it to end. And then the other side, there's two lines per stanza, but there's also, again, it's broken up. Um, and he does not just this, but Kaveh also has uh, stanzas that are just one complete block. He also, like this one right here on this page, he also does what he has on the other page, which is tercets. Um, So he does a lot of experimental forms, and he does a lot of different, just experiments. He does a lot of different kinds of stanzas, kinds of lines. He has one on this other page where things are kind of slanting, and like this is one full poem. So we have some different things going on here in questions. We have stuff on this side, which is completely different. So I really love how experimental that he is with his poetry. No two poems are exactly the same in here. In length and in stanza length, size, shape, it's all very different. And it's one of the things I really, really love about this book. So there is a poem in here that I want to read the first stanza of. It's just two lines because it deals so deeply with faith, this entire book, but this poem itself is titled God, and I want to read the first stanza and explain. I'm ready for you to come back, whether in a train full of dying criminals or on the gleaming saddle of a locust, you are needed again. I love that line, those lines, and I love the poem and just the book itself because it really incorporates faith and spirituality and regaining a relationship with God, I feel. And it's definitely something that's close to me, and it's something that I can read and be like, wow, that's actually pretty convicting because I've gone through the same kinds of things, not necessarily what it touches on, like alcohol addiction and stuff like that, but other things that makes me want to strengthen my relationship with God, and this book really touches on that and expands on what that feels like. Um, and this book has also really influenced how I write. Not only have I wanted to experiment more with forms, and I have started to do that, but I write about my own faith journey and what it's like and self-love and trying to learn all of these things in this world and the climate that we're in. Um, and he has really influenced my writing and my subjects and just more of what I want to do with my writing is I love to be at this level someday, which I don't know if it'll happen, but he's definitely influenced my writing quite a bit. I think if I could ask Kaveh a question or two, it would be how much does he write each day or find the time to write, and how does he stay motivated enough um, to write what he does? Because I know that it's hard for all of us, especially college students, with all the assignments we have, to be able to sit down and write a certain amount of times per day or per week. So I want to know how he does it and just how he comes up with what he comes up with and his words and just everything. So that's definitely something I would ask him if I could. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up my presentation / review of Kaveh Akbar's Calling a Wolf a Wolf. I would definitely recommend this book to people who want to read about faith, spirituality, trust in God, and just all of that good stuff, and love. I would definitely recommend it. I'd give it 5 out of 5 stars if I was an actual critic, which I'm not, but I love this book. It's a great poetry book, and I think you all should read it. And I think that's about it. So thanks for listening to me, and yeah, have a great day, guys.